Good morning, everybody. Let's do a quick story time about one of the saints, Saint Dismas. And my understanding is that he was the first canonized saint, Saint Dismas. In the Orthodox tradition, I'm smoking on a little bit of cherry tobacco this morning, or cherry flavored tobacco, I should say. And then I'll be doing a cigar. I'll be doing a Oliva Series V. That cherry tobacco is good. It's not as good as the old black, but it's good. Saint Dismas. Saint Dismas was the story in Orthodox tradition is that when Mary and Joseph, if you remember, they were leaving per a dream that they were going to Egypt to get away from persecution, right? King Herod wanted to kill all the male children. So en route, according to church tradition, they came among robbers. Some thieves came upon them and were going to rob them. And one of the thieves told this group of people, like, hey, we need to leave these guys alone. They're innocent in this matter. We need to let them pass and get on their way. And they decided to let Mary and Joseph, a pregnant Mary, on. Let them go, let them pass. Through a instinct or a maybe an internal compass, maybe, of the thief saying, we need to let them go. We want nothing to do with these people. Let's let them be. Okay, fast forward years later. Now remember, Mary was very young when she was pregnant and all this happened. Okay. Now theologians say that Joseph had probably passed away when Jesus was younger, because there's no mention of him after the age 12, 13, something like that, where they find Jesus in the temple teaching people. But after that, there's no mention of it. So of him, and so there was no mention of Joseph at the cross when Jesus was being crucified. Nothing like that. Okay, now as the story goes, as tradition tells it, the thief on the cross, that one of the thieves is saying, look, if you are the Christ, why these things, so on and so forth, kind of criticizing. And the other thief, Dismas, says, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Remember me when you come into your kingdom, right? And then Jesus responds, you will be with me today in paradise. Okay, what a beautiful thing. And as it said, is that Mary was there at the crucifixion of her son Jesus. And Dismas, the thief on the cross hanging next to Christ, looks down and recognizes Mary from years earlier, as a band of robbers that almost robbed Mary and Joseph but did not. They let them pass. And that's how Dismas knew who this Messiah was, right? From a premonition that he had years earlier. And he was forgiven of his sins. No baptism, no church services, no rock star church band, nothing like that. It was a penitent thief that understood who Jesus was, and in part because he recognized Mary from before. And he was the first canonized saint. This humble thief, this penitent thief. Isn't that amazing? What a story. And there's lots of stories like that in church tradition as you get into orthodoxy that come out, that things start to make, they bring more things to light, let's say. But that's the story of Saint Dismas. He is a canonized saint. He's known as the saint of prisoners, thieves, people on death row, things like this. But he's a saint in the church because of his penitent heart. Isn't that a beautiful story? Saint Dismas.